This is WBZ's Karen Toomey talking with Congressman Barney Frank, chairman of the House Financial Services Committee. Talking about Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia, you called him a homophobe. Can you tell me a little bit about what preceded those thoughts and those comments?
Oh, his opinion, particularly in the case involving the criminal prosecution of two adults who were having consenting sex in their bedroom and were arrested and convicted. And the majority of the Supreme Court threw out the case and said, no, you can't interfere with privacy to this extent. These people were two adults in the privacy of their bedroom. Now, some justices dissented. Justice Thomas had what I thought was a very reasonable dissent. He said, look, I think this is a very silly law, but as I read the Constitution doesn't prohibit this law. Justice Scalia, on the other hand, wrote a very long, very angry opinion in which he makes it very clear that he thinks gay people are a threat to this society. It's an angry anti-gay opinion, and I urge people to compare Clarence Thomas, who said, look, this is a silly idea, the notion that we should arrest people for having private consenting sex, but I don't think the Constitution says it's impossible. Scalia essentially says good. If you read his opinion, he says these are people who threaten the society, and he's had other opinions involving gay people in which he makes it very clear that he is very angry, frankly, about the existence of gay people.
Do you stand by using the word homophobe?
Well, yes, what a homophobe means is that he's someone who's got prejudice against gay people. I don't say that about Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas voted against making that law unconstitutional, saying, I don't think people should be thrown in jail for having private consenting sex, but the Constitution doesn't prohibit that act by a state. Scalia, on the other hand, makes it very clear. He, if you read his opinion, thinks it's a good idea for two consenting adults who happen to be gay to be locked up because he is so disapproving of gay people. And, we're not talking here about marriage. Obviously, there are people who are for and against marriage, and while I support same-sex marriage, I do not think if you're against it, you're a homophobe. I don't think Clarence Thomas is a homophobe for an opinion which says, look, the Constitution allows a state to do what I think is silly. But what Scalia says, and I urge people to read his opinion, the case of Lawrence against Texas, essentially, if you read Scalia's opinion, he thinks homosexuals are a threat to this society, and that it is a pretty good idea to lock any of us up who engage in private in behavior that he disapproves of.